less than a week away from taking on Tulane, but this team hasn't seen somebody outside of an ACU jersey since the last season. Kind of just talk about the excitement, the hunger, players, the coaches, the fans are kind of starting to feel that it's right around the corner. Season's just that close.
You bet. It's the same every year. You know, there's always an excitement surrounding the first game of the year, no matter who you're playing. And we have a very quality opponent in the University of Tulsa. As you know, it's well documented. I spent the better part of a decade of my career there, and got my son-in-law played football there. My niece was a cheerleader. My wife and I got married at Sharp Chapel on that campus. Had another nephew that played, and so it's just we won a championship there in 2005. So there's a lot of things around going back home. It's almost very similar in a lot of ways to going back to Texas Tech last year, a place that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Both those places had a tremendous impact on my career and development as a football coach. So excited for our players to be able to get out there. You know, in the modern day of college football, it's really you really don't know what kind of team you have. You add so many new pieces to the puzzle, and from coaches and players. So that's what I love about the challenging schedule that we have. You got a program that it has just hired a new coach, and they're going to be excited to play, and there's an excitement around that program. And then you got TCU, you got Stephen F. Austin, UIW, Austin Peay, the defending UAC champions within our first 5 football games. So I love that. I love the challenging schedule because it's going to expose things that are not necessarily weaknesses, but it just exposes things that hey, here's what we have to get better at. So I love the challenge of it all, and our players are excited.
And well, I know that you look at every game the same. You try to limit those distractions, but the fact that you've had such a history at the place you're playing week 1, just talk about how much this game is going to kind of mean to you. I know you talked about they're going to honor that championship team, the 20th anniversary. Talk about how much it's going to mean to you, how special it'll be about going back, and how interesting it'll be going back as a head coach for a different team.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously I was there longer than I was at Texas Tech, but it's the same feelings, man. It just brings back a lot of great memories, and I think about people and all the people that I crossed paths with there at the University of Tulsa, and friends that I still have, and just the impact that time at Tulsa had on my own personal life, and so it really. But once you cross the white line, those things are it's all. You put it all behind you, and it's just another game. It's another opponent. We don't put too much stock into any of the other things other than it's cool to know that you had a part of the history of a very successful period of the University of Tulsa football game. I think we went we won conference championship. We played for it three different times. Went to 6 different. I can't remember how many bowl games we went to, but it was just tremendous. I mean, we almost won 70 football games there in our time, from Steve Craigthorpe all the way through Todd Graham. So that just brings back great memories, and it really has everything to do with people.
And this is your first season after seeing the success that you kind of talked about since you first started here. I mean, making a playoff game, winning a conference. What kind of pressure does that kind of put on the team to start this season, and how are you looking for them to respond or just ignore that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like I say to every team, when you basically recalibrate. You have to start all over. Last year was last year. Yes, are we proud of what we've accomplished? But it's one thing to get there. It's another thing to stay there. We want to build a program that stays there, right? It's not about just, and that's hard to do in collegiate football these days with the rules and the way things. It's very fluid. So it's even made it more of a challenge to stay there. Yes, we accomplished one of our goals last year, but we have not accomplished 2 of them. We have 3 goals every year. Go undefeated at home. We've lost a game last year. I think we lost 1 game year 1. I think that we lost twice at home to two ranked opponents my second year by 7 points and 1 point. So we've gotten close to meeting goal number one, but we've never met it. We want to go undefeated at home. The second goal is to win the conference championship, and then the third goal is obviously so there's really no pressure in this game. It's all about just focusing on the process and the things that it takes to win a football game. And there's going to be three keys to victory, in my opinion. Number one, it's protect the football. I watched the better part of 5 football games on this past Saturday. Every team that of the games that I watched that lost the turnover battle, they lost the game. More importantly, okay, third down. Every team that lost the third down battle lost the game. Okay, so you couple the ball, you couple third down, and then the final key to victory for us is it's penalties. No pre and post snap penalties. That speaks to our discipline. You look at every one of those games that I watched. Every team that lost the turnover battle, they lost on third down, and they lost the penalty battle. They all lost those games by sizable margins. So, I think that's going to be critical for us to go out and play with no chaos. Just make it nice and clean. Keep the game simple. And if we'll do that, if you take care of that ball and you're converting third downs, you're going to position yourself for success toward the end of the game.
And that kind of brings up to my next point. What are some of the things that you're going to be able to take from that scrimmage you had into week one? And what are some things that you're looking for your team to change from that scrimmage into week one and kind of learn from?
That it doesn't matter. Football never changes. I mean, it's about controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Whoever the teams are that are dominating and controlling the line of scrimmage are going to have the upper hand in winning the football game. That's the one thing about football that will never change. It begins and ends up front on both sides of the football, the physicality in which both teams are going to play with. It's even though it's changed from a schematic standpoint, the game is still won and lost up front.
I know you've planned a whole lot. I know you've done all this work to lead up to this point. So just how ready are you to get out on that field and finally coach a real game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like every other head coach in America. You get tired of going against your own teammates, and but it's a part of the process, right? You can't wish time by. I'm ready. I'm excited to see who we are as a team, but still, it's Monday. And, man, we have a lot of preparation today, a lot of preparation Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of preparation on Friday from, starting the year on the road, just how we travel. I mean, how do we do things? I mean, there's just so many things that have to take place. I never wish time by, and it's just about making sure that we don't skip steps. We tell our team the secret's in the dirt. It's all about preparation. It's all about what do we do with today, okay? Monday's our day off. It's the first day of school for our guys. So that works out great. They don't have to have so much change. You've been sitting here going through fall camp. Now all of a sudden you have your first day of class and there's no practice, but they can get prepared. There's film study. There's schematic things that they can do and learn and watch cut-ups from fall camp to make sure that we can improve upon. So a lot of work to be done. And that'll happen all the way up till the kickoff. So it's never over until we kick the ball off, as far as just trying to get ourselves mentally and physically ready to play.
Coach, you answered every ACU football question I had. What do you think of Mav and Coach Bowie on Saturday?
That didn't surprise me. I mean, like we knew what we had with both those guys. I mean, you got Rick who has just such a commitment to what he believes in offensively, and he makes it very simplistic for the quarterback. He allows the quarterback to play freely, not overthink things, just follow the progression, take what the defense gives you, and that's exactly what Mav did, and I believe he did it on his birthday. So from what I hear.
All right, yeah, I'm good. Awesome.
So talking about this team, they haven't gotten to do anything with anyone outside of an ACU jersey since North Dakota last year. Kind of just talk about the hunger that you guys have seen from not only your players, but also the coaches kind of as well to get this season started.
Yeah, I think everyone's obviously excited. And like you said, there hasn't, since North Dakota State last year, there's a ton of new faces. Obviously on the coaching staff and on the team, and even the guys that aren't new, especially offensively. There's not, most of the guys that played a ton of snaps last year are no longer here. So, I think we've got a lot of people that are hungry, a lot of people that want to go prove themselves and have a lot to improve. But it's tough to replace the amount of experience that we lost off last year's team. But the guys have, since last January or February when I got here, I think we've worked them really hard. I think the guys have bought in, and hopefully, they should be really excited to play come Saturday.
And you're going to a special place for Coach Patterson, Tulsa, for everyone, that he has a long history with. Kind of talk about how special that game is going to be, seeing your head coach kind of come back and get some of those memories, and how important it is to win at that kind of spot.
Yeah, I think that KP can probably touch on that a lot more than I can, but it's a place that not only did he coach there for a long time, but he's from the state, and so he's going to know that place really well. Knows a lot of people around there. I think a lot of his he still has a ton of family in the Tulsa area, and so it'll kind of be like going home for him. And so I'm sure he's excited to do that. I'm sure he's excited to see a bunch of family and probably former players. But the thing that I know about KP is he's going to be focused on making sure the Wildcats are ready to play, and I don't think he'll get caught up in going home or going back to Tulsa, a place he spent a ton of time. And so, we all want to play well, and we always want to play well. I think obviously when you're going back to a place you spend a lot of time at, you want to go play well. And the rest of us, it's our job to get everyone ready to make sure KP has a great return.
And it's the first season after some of the success that KP's talked about since he first got here, winning a conference title, making a playoff appearance. Kind of talk about that. Coming in as a first-year guy, a lot of these players are first-year guys. What kind of pressure comes with kind of trying to uphold that standard when you're still new, and how you're kind of embracing it or trying to ignore it and not kind of handle it?
Yeah, I think hopefully we're not putting a bunch of unnecessary pressure on ourselves. I think that the key for us is to go out there and play loose, and be excited, and like I said, not put a ton of pressure on ourselves. I do think, like I touched on earlier, we have a lot of new faces. Offensively, almost every single player isn't the returning guy, maybe besides Jed. And so, a lot of people with a lot of things to prove. I think the key is going to be to go out there and just do your job and not try to do too much, because that happens a lot on first games, and especially if it's kind of a first game being a starter somewhere. And so they got to go out there and just trust that just doing their job's enough, and that'll be important for us. But obviously last year, like you said, they had a great run, and but it's a brand new team, and I think. If you ask anyone that was here last year, they'd say the same thing. It's a brand new team. It's going to the people are going to be a lot different. It may look a lot different, but the expectations we put on ourselves is to still be successful. And I think that winning a conference championship last year was a big step for the program, and hopefully instead of that being a goal, that becomes kind of the expectation around here, where we go out there and expect to win conference championships. And do everything we can to put ourselves in a position to do that.
How are you feeling? Oh, keep going, man.
Last one.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
What are some of the things that you're looking for specifically from the offense going into week one, and what are some of the things that you're hoping that your offense learned from that last scrimmage you played to take into this week?
I think, being our first game, we got to protect the football, and I think that even if you watch some of the games from this past weekend. Sometimes a sloppy football in week one, and we don't want to use that as an excuse. It was week one. No, we've had a ton of practice. We've gotten a ton of reps in, and we got to protect the football, try to stay on the field on third downs, and when we get in the red zone, score points, score touchdowns, and that'll be important for us. But like I said, I think that what's going to be big for us and what I want to see is, one, protect the football, and two, don't try to do too much. Just do your job, over and over and over and over. Consistently do your job at a high level. And if you do that, then we'll put ourselves in a position to give ourselves a chance to win. And if you don't, it'll be a long day. If you're out there trying to do too much all day or turn the football over all day, you're not going to give yourself a chance to be successful. And so those will be important things for us.
How are you feeling entering this week, knowing that this is your first game as an OC for another football?
I'm excited, and ACU has my entire family has a long history at ACU. So being back in the state of Texas and at this school, it's really exciting, and so I'm excited to be here and looking forward to, like I say, getting the season going and in my first season here.
Protecting the football and the other things that you mentioned that are very important. Are there any other evaluations that you're looking forward to see when these guys play real competition here?
I think KP's tried to build this program on character, discipline, and toughness, and I think that obviously you're always looking for that, and that's something that that's what we say our core values are. But that's always tell our offense, not only those core values, those are the standards we're going to hold you to in everything you do, and that's on the football field as well. And so we want to see those things show up on tape, and so those will always be things we're looking for, and that's something that I think KP's talked about since he's been here, but definitely since I've been here, that's what we've said we're going to build our program on. And I think that, like, protecting the football is a byproduct of playing disciplined football. You know what I mean? I think that, we don't want to KP talks about all the time, we can't afford to have pre-snap penalties or post-play penalties, right? Same sort of deal. I think that that's a byproduct of being a disciplined football team. And so, those are always going to be three things that we're looking for every single week is, hey, are we going to, be men of character? And I think that shows up on the football field, like just being selfless and giving, like, fanatical effort for your teammates. That's, putting someone else ahead of yourself. I think that's a sign of character. You know what I mean? You see discipline all over the place in football. You see toughness all over the place in football. And so those will definitely be things, like I said, that when we turn the tape on Sunday after the game, that we're going to be, hey, that better show up. You know what I mean? Those three things better show up because that's going to be, if that's what we're going to say we're going to be as a program, that has to show up on tape every single week.
We ain't got to be here for much longer. We got a game to prepare for.
That's right.
Good.